Lena worked the late-night shift at a busy downtown cafe, a place filled with the aroma of fresh coffee, the chatter of customers, and the constant clatter of dishes. She had been working there for a few years, balancing the demands of the job with bills, family responsibilities, and the small joys of life. Though the hours were long and the pay modest, Lena took pride in her work. She had learned to be patient with difficult customers, efficient with her tasks, and attentive to every detail, knowing that even small gestures could make a big difference in someone's day. That night, the cafe was quieter than usual. Most of the regulars had left, and the remaining customers spoke in low tones, sipping their drinks and scrolling through their phones. Lena wiped down the counter, arranging pastries neatly in the display case and keeping an eye on the entrance. She enjoyed these quieter moments when she could take a breath and watch the world outside the window. The city lights reflected on the wet streets, and a cool breeze drifted in as the door opened and closed with the occasional customer. As Lena was about to refill the coffee machine, she noticed a man stumbling outside the cafe. At first, she thought he was just a passerby, but it quickly became clear that he was unsteady on his feet and struggling to maintain balance. His expensive suit was rumpled, his tie loose, and his shoes scuffed from hurried steps. Lena felt a twinge of concern. Something about his disorientation suggested he was in need of help. Without hesitation, Lena stepped outside, approaching him carefully. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked, her voice calm but firm. The man blinked at her, his eyes glassy and confused. He mumbled something unintelligible, swaying slightly on his feet. Lena gently reached out to steady him. "It's all right. I can help you get home," she said. Her tone was kind but confident, letting him know that she meant to assist without being overbearing. He hesitated for a moment, then nodded, leaning on her lightly as she guided him toward the curb. Lena called a cab for him, explaining that he needed a safe ride home. The driver arrived promptly and Lena helped the man into the back seat, making sure he was seated safely. She gave the driver clear instructions for the destination, staying with them until the vehicle began moving. "Thank you," the man said softly, his words slightly slurred, but sincere. Lena smiled politely. "You're welcome. Just make sure you get home safely." The cab pulled away, leaving Lena standing on the wet pavement. She returned to the cafe, brushing her hands on her apron and shaking her head slightly, wondering if she had done too much. But deep down, she knew she had acted correctly. Helping someone in need didn't require recognition or reward. It was simply the right thing to do. She resumed her work, cleaning tables, pouring coffee, and serving the few remaining customers. Over the next few days, Lena tried to push the encounter out of her mind, returning to her routine. She continued to work diligently at the cafe, interacting with regulars and managing the evening rush with her usual efficiency. Life went on as it always had, with small moments of satisfaction mixed with the daily grind of responsibilities and obligations. Then one evening, just a week later, a man in a suit entered the cafe. He looked familiar but slightly different, more composed, alert, and clearly aware of his surroundings. He approached Lena with a confident stride. "Excuse me," he said, his tone polite and deliberate. "Are you Lena?" Lena paused, surprised by the direct approach. "Yes," she replied cautiously. "Can I help you?" The man smiled warmly. "I'm the gentleman you helped last week. I wanted to thank you in person. Your kindness and attention meant more than you realize." Lena blinked, momentarily speechless. She had not expected any follow-up from that night. "Oh, it was nothing," she said softly, trying to downplay her role. "I just wanted to make sure you got home safely." "No," he said firmly but kindly. "It was more than nothing. Not many people would have done what you did, and I wanted to express my gratitude properly. Could we sit for a moment? I'd like to talk with you." Curiosity piqued, Lena agreed. They sat at a small table in the quiet corner of the cafe. The man introduced himself properly, revealing that he was a billionaire who managed multiple businesses and investments. Lena listened intently, slightly awestruck by the revelation, but she didn't let it intimidate her. She had met many different people in her line of work and had learned to treat everyone with respect and professionalism. He spoke with genuine interest about her life, her work at the cafe, her responsibilities, and her approach to daily challenges. Lena was honest, sharing the struggles and small victories that came with her routine. She spoke about the pride she took in her work, the care she gave to customers, and the sense of satisfaction she found in being reliable and thoughtful. The man listened attentively, clearly impressed by her intelligence, humility, and grounded perspective. "You know," he said after a pause, "I've met a lot of people in my life, and I rarely encounter someone who combines practical intelligence with such genuine kindness. I wanted to meet you because I see qualities in you that are rare." Lena felt a mix of surprise and humility. She was not used to receiving compliments, especially from someone so influential. "I just do my best," she replied modestly. "I think that's all anyone can do." He nodded thoughtfully. "Exactly. Doing your best even in small moments can reveal more than people expect. I have a situation, a property I own that I've been struggling to manage. I think your skills and perspective could make a real difference. Would you be interested in helping me evaluate it? There's no pressure, just an opportunity to see if it's something you'd like to get involved with." Lena hesitated. The thought of stepping into an unfamiliar world both exciting and intimidating. But she felt a quiet sense of readiness. She had always believed in acting with integrity, in paying attention to detail, and in taking responsibility seriously. This was a chance to test herself in a new way. After a moment, she nodded. "I'd like to see it. I'm willing to help." The billionaire smiled, clearly pleased with her response. "Excellent. I'll arrange for you to visit the property tomorrow. Just bring your observations and insights. I'm curious to hear your perspective." That night, Lena returned home with her mind buzzing. She reflected on the series of events that had begun with a simple act of helping someone. She realized that life often presented unexpected opportunities, and sometimes courage and attentiveness in small moments could change everything. She felt a mix of excitement, anticipation, and determination. Whatever awaited her at the property, she knew she would face it with integrity, intelligence, and her characteristic calm confidence. The next morning, Lena prepared carefully for the visit. She dressed neatly, gathered a notebook, and reminded herself to observe everything carefully. This was a new chapter, one that began with a small act of kindness but held the potential for life-changing consequences. She arrived at the location and found herself standing in front of a building that had once been a lively hotel, but now showed signs of neglect and wear. Walking through the hotel, Lena noticed the details immediately: the peeling paint, the uneven flooring, the disorganized staff routines. She made mental notes of areas that needed attention and began thinking strategically about improvements, small fixes that could have a significant impact. Her natural ability to observe, analyze, and suggest practical solutions came alive in this new context. The billionaire observed her quietly, occasionally asking questions and listening to her ideas. Lena spoke confidently yet respectfully, offering suggestions on how to reorganize operations, enhance guest experiences, and prioritize repairs. Her insights were practical, grounded in real-world observation, and delivered with clarity. By the end of the visit, the billionaire was clearly impressed. "Lena," he said, "I knew there was something special about your approach. You see things that others overlook, and you propose solutions that make sense. I think we could work together to bring this place back to life." Lena felt a mixture of excitement and humility. She had never imagined that a single act of helping someone could lead to such a remarkable opportunity. She realized that life had a way of rewarding integrity, attentiveness, and courage in unexpected ways. And as she left the hotel that day, she understood that this was just the beginning of a journey that could change her life forever. The day after her first visit to the hotel, Lena woke up feeling a mixture of excitement and nervous anticipation. The thought that a simple act of kindness had led to this moment still surprised her. She dressed carefully, choosing clothes that were professional but comfortable, and made sure to bring a notebook to jot down observations and ideas. She wanted to approach this opportunity with focus, determination, and thoughtfulness. When she arrived at the hotel, the billionaire was already there, waiting. He greeted her warmly, his expression reflecting both appreciation and curiosity. "Good morning, Lena. I'm glad you're here. Today, I'd like you to walk through the property and give me your honest assessment. Don't hold back. I want to hear your perspective on everything, from operations to staff performance." Lena nodded, feeling both empowered and responsible. She understood that this was more than just a casual visit. Her insights could shape the future of the hotel. She began her walkthrough, carefully observing every detail, the lobbies, rooms, hallways, and kitchen areas. She noted where repairs were needed, where organization could improve, and where small changes could make a big difference. Her attention to detail, honed over years of work at the cafe, allowed her to see things others might overlook. She spoke with the few remaining staff members, asking questions about daily routines, challenges, and guest experiences. She listened attentively, noting both strengths and weaknesses. Her approach was respectful and thoughtful, allowing staff to open up and share honest feedback. She made suggestions for improving efficiency, reorganizing tasks, and enhancing customer service. Each idea was practical, grounded in reality, and delivered with clarity. The billionaire followed her quietly, occasionally asking questions but mostly observing her process. He was clearly impressed by the way she analyzed the property, identified problems, and proposed solutions. Lena's calm confidence and practical intelligence stood out, demonstrating qualities that were rare in someone without formal management experience. After completing the walkthrough, they sat in a quiet corner of the lobby. Lena shared her observations, carefully explaining her ideas for repairs, staff training, and operational improvements. She emphasized small, actionable steps that could have immediate impact, while also suggesting long-term strategies for growth and sustainability. "I must say, Lena," the billionaire said, leaning back in his chair, "you have a clear mind for organization and management. You notice things that most people would miss, and your solutions are practical and realistic. I think you have the potential to make a real difference here." Lena felt a warm sense of validation. She had always worked hard, paying attention to details that others sometimes ignored, but she had never imagined that these skills could lead to such a significant opportunity. "Thank you," she replied softly. "I'll do my best to help make this place better." Over the next few days, Lena began to take on more responsibility. She coordinated minor repairs, reorganized storage areas, and created a system for tracking staff tasks. She worked closely with the existing employees, training them on new procedures and encouraging them to take pride in their work. Her approach was collaborative, respectful, and motivational, and the staff responded positively to her leadership. She also spent time observing guest interactions and analyzing feedback from past visitors. She identified areas where customer experience could be improved, such as room cleanliness, response times to requests, and overall service quality. Lena proposed simple but effective solutions, including checklists, training sessions, and scheduling adjustments, all aimed at creating a smoother and more enjoyable experience for guests. The billionaire continued to monitor her progress, offering guidance when necessary, but largely allowing Lena to take the lead. He was impressed by her initiative, judgment, and ability to handle challenges calmly and effectively. He recognized that her skills went beyond mere observation. She had a natural talent for leadership, organization, and problem-solving that could transform the property. As Lena worked, she also considered the financial aspects of the hotel. She reviewed budgets, expenses, and revenue streams, suggesting ways to reduce costs without compromising quality. She identified opportunities for marketing and partnerships with local businesses, proposing strategies to attract more guests and enhance the hotel's reputation. Her ideas were practical, realistic, and tailored to the unique characteristics of the property. The more Lena became involved, the more she realized her own potential. She had always been diligent and reliable, but this experience revealed her ability to lead, strategize, and inspire others. Her confidence grew as she saw the impact of her efforts on the hotel's operations and the staff's performance. She began to envision the property not just as a building in need of repair, but as a thriving, welcoming space that could provide memorable experiences for guests. One afternoon, after a particularly productive day, Lena and the billionaire walked through the lobby, discussing progress and next steps. "You've already done so much in such a short time," he said. "Your perspective has been invaluable, and I believe this hotel has a real chance to succeed because of your input." Lena smiled, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. She had started with a small opportunity, simply helping someone one night, and it had grown into something much larger. She understood that life could change unexpectedly when one acted with integrity, attention to detail, and willingness to step forward. As the week progressed, Lena continued to implement improvements, balancing short-term fixes with long-term planning. She communicated regularly with the billionaire, updating him on progress and discussing new ideas. Their professional relationship was built on trust, respect, and mutual appreciation, with Lena's contributions clearly recognized and valued. During her time at the hotel, Lena also reflected on her personal growth. She realized that courage, honesty, and practical intelligence could open doors she had never imagined. Her ability to observe, analyze, and act effectively had led her from a cafe to a position of influence and responsibility. She felt grateful for the opportunity and determined to make the most of it. By the end of the week, Lena had made a noticeable impact on the hotel. Repairs were underway, staff routines were improving, and guests were beginning to notice the enhanced service and attention to detail. The billionaire was clearly impressed with her dedication, skill, and insight. He approached her one evening as she was reviewing notes for the next day. "Lena," he said, "your work has exceeded my expectations. I think you have the ability not only to manage this hotel, but to transform it entirely. I want to continue working with you closely." Lena felt a mixture of pride, excitement, and humility. She understood that this was a pivotal moment in her life. A simple act of kindness had led to an opportunity that could change her future in ways she had never imagined. She nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I'd be honored," she said. As she left the hotel that evening, Lena reflected on the week's events. She had learned that small actions guided by integrity and attentiveness could have extraordinary consequences. Her journey had just begun, but she felt ready for the challenges ahead. Whatever the future held, she knew that courage, intelligence, and dedication would guide her path, and that this unexpected opportunity could lead to a life she had once only dreamed of. Over the following weeks, Lena became more deeply involved in the hotel's transformation. Her mornings often began with reviewing schedules, checking inventory, and talking to staff about daily responsibilities. By afternoon, she was overseeing maintenance work, coordinating with contractors, or walking through rooms to ensure quality and efficiency. The once quiet, neglected property was gradually coming to life, and Lena felt a sense of fulfillment she had never experienced in her previous job. Every detail mattered to her. She noticed subtle things that could improve guest experience: a leaky faucet, a door that didn't close properly, or furniture arranged in a way that didn't optimize space. Lena carefully documented everything and prioritized what needed immediate attention and what could wait. Her methodical approach impressed both the staff and the billionaire, who began to trust her judgment implicitly. One day, while walking through the lobby, Lena noticed a group of guests struggling to find the front desk. The signage was confusing, and the lighting in the hallway was dim. Lena immediately made notes to improve visibility and accessibility, proposing a small redesign that would guide guests smoothly from the entrance to check-in. She also suggested staff rotation adjustments so that someone was always available to greet guests promptly. The changes were minor in effort but significant in effect, and the billionaire was impressed by her practical yet thoughtful solutions. Lena also paid close attention to staff dynamics. She observed how employees interacted with one another and identified gaps in communication that sometimes led to errors or delays. Rather than criticizing, she organized short training sessions focused on teamwork, clear communication, and problem-solving. Her approach was empathetic and encouraging, which made the staff more willing to embrace her guidance. Gradually, the team became more confident, coordinated, and efficient under her leadership. Her analytical mind extended to finances as well. Lena reviewed past expense reports and revenue streams, searching for areas where efficiency could be improved without compromising quality. She noticed that certain supplies were consistently over-ordered, while other necessary items ran out too quickly. She suggested a streamlined inventory system and better forecasting methods, which immediately reduced waste and increased operational efficiency. The billionaire acknowledged her keen insights, remarking that most managers he had employed had never thought so deeply about the details. Beyond operations, Lena considered the hotel's potential in the community. She researched local businesses, tourist attractions, and trends in the hospitality industry. She proposed partnerships with nearby restaurants and shops to create packages for guests, enhancing the hotel's appeal while fostering local connections. Her ideas demonstrated not only practical problem-solving, but also strategic thinking that could expand the hotel's success in the long term. Lena's efforts did not go unnoticed. The staff grew to admire her not only for her competence, but for her approachable, respectful leadership. They appreciated how she listened to their concerns, valued their input, and gave credit where it was due. The billionaire, observing the growing respect between Lena and the employees, realized that her influence was reshaping the entire atmosphere of the hotel. One afternoon, while Lena was reviewing a schedule with a team member, the billionaire stopped by. He watched her for a few minutes, silently taking in how she communicated and handled tasks. "You've changed this place," he said finally. "The hotel feels different now, more welcoming, organized, and efficient. Your influence is everywhere. I knew you had potential, but I didn't realize just how transformative you could be." Lena felt a mix of pride and humility. She knew she had worked hard, but she also recognized that opportunity had come her way because of a moment of kindness and integrity. She smiled softly. "I'm just doing what I can to help," she replied. "I want this place to succeed, not for myself alone, but for everyone who works here and for the guests who stay here." The billionaire nodded, clearly impressed with her perspective. That's exactly the kind of mindset that makes a leader stand out. You're not just managing, you're inspiring. I think we could accomplish great things together if you continue on this path. Encouraged by his words, Lena continued to refine and implement changes. She oversaw renovations to outdated rooms, improved lighting and signage, and restructured housekeeping schedules for efficiency. She worked on staff training, emphasizing the importance of customer service, attentiveness, and proactive problem-solving. Every adjustment, no matter how small, contributed to the overall improvement of the hotel. During this time, Lena also learned to navigate the nuances of business communication and decision-making. She practiced presenting her ideas clearly, weighing options before making recommendations, and listening carefully to feedback. Each challenge strengthened her confidence and ability to lead, showing her that her skills extended far beyond what she had imagined when working as a waitress. As the hotel began to show tangible improvements, Lena also focused on marketing and guest engagement. She worked with a small team to create promotions highlighting the hotel's unique features and newly renovated spaces. She suggested targeted social media campaigns and partnerships with local attractions to attract more visitors. Lena's strategic approach began to yield results as occupancy rates improved and guest reviews praised the changes she had implemented. Despite the growing responsibilities, Lena remained grounded. She continued to approach each day with humility and dedication, understanding that leadership required consistent effort, attention to detail, and respect for others. She took time to mentor individual staff members, helping them build confidence and skills while fostering a positive work environment. One evening, after a long day of inspections and planning, Lena walked through the lobby and paused to observe the atmosphere. The staff moved efficiently, guests smiled, and the hotel had a sense of energy and warmth that had been missing before. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her efforts were making a real difference in people's experiences and the overall success of the hotel. The billionaire joined her, standing quietly for a moment as he watched the scene. "You've taken this hotel from something ordinary to something remarkable," he said. "I knew you had potential, but seeing you in action is truly impressive. Your leadership, insight, and dedication have changed everything." Lena smiled, feeling a mixture of gratitude and excitement. She realized that a small act of kindness, a decision to help someone in need, had opened the door to this life-changing opportunity. She had stepped into a world she had never imagined, learning, growing, and contributing in ways that reshaped her career and her confidence. In the days that followed, Lena continued to lead the hotel with skill and compassion. Each challenge became an opportunity to improve, each decision a chance to learn. She balanced immediate operational needs with long-term planning, ensuring that the hotel continued to grow sustainably. Her journey was no longer just about managing a property. It was about creating a thriving, welcoming space for guests and staff alike. Through it all, Lena reflected on the path that had brought her here. From the cafe where she had worked late nights, to helping a disoriented billionaire, to now leading a hotel transformation, she understood that integrity, attention to detail, and courage could create extraordinary opportunities. Her story was a testament to the power of small actions and thoughtful leadership, showing that even the most unexpected moments could lead to life-changing outcomes. As the hotel continued to transform under Lena's leadership, the pace of work intensified, but so did the sense of accomplishment. Lena had become deeply involved in every aspect of operations, from overseeing renovations to training staff, improving customer service, and refining financial management. The once neglected property now showed the signs of careful planning, dedication, and attention to detail. Each morning, Lena began with a walkthrough, checking the rooms, hallways, and public areas to ensure that standards were being maintained. She noted small details that could improve the guest experience, such as the arrangement of furniture, the cleanliness of common areas, and even the placement of lighting to create a welcoming atmosphere. The staff had grown accustomed to her presence, seeing her not just as a manager, but as someone who cared deeply about the success of the hotel and the experience of its guests. Lena paid particular attention to the staff, recognizing that their performance and morale directly affected the hotel's success. She held brief meetings each morning to outline priorities, listen to concerns, and provide guidance. She encouraged teamwork and open communication, creating a supportive environment where employees felt valued and empowered. Her approachable nature fostered trust, and gradually, the staff began to take more initiative and responsibility. Renovations were a constant focus. Lena collaborated with contractors and designers, ensuring that structural issues were addressed and that each room and common area reflected a balance of comfort, style, and practicality. She made careful decisions about materials, layouts, and functionality, understanding that small details could have a significant impact on guest satisfaction. The billionaire visited occasionally, impressed with the transformation, but he allowed Lena to take the lead, trusting her judgment and vision. Alongside operational improvements, Lena focused on guest engagement. She created programs to enhance the experience for visitors, including personalized welcome notes, upgraded amenities, and curated local activity recommendations. She also implemented a feedback system, encouraging guests to share their thoughts and suggestions. This allowed the hotel to adapt quickly to their needs and build a reputation for attentive, responsive service. Financial management was another area where Lena's skills became evident. She carefully monitored expenses, identified areas for cost savings, and ensured that revenue streams were maximized without compromising quality. She developed simple reporting tools for tracking performance, allowing her and the billionaire to make informed decisions. Her practical approach, combined with analytical thinking, improved both operational efficiency and profitability. As the days passed, the hotel began to attract more guests. Positive reviews highlighted the improvements Lena had made, praising the cleanliness, comfort, and personalized service. The staff, inspired by her guidance, delivered consistently excellent experiences. Lena felt a profound sense of satisfaction, realizing that her efforts were making a tangible difference. Despite the challenges and long hours, Lena remained committed to the work. She understood that leadership required patience, consistency, and resilience. She dealt with unexpected issues, maintenance emergencies, staff shortages, and scheduling conflicts, with calm problem-solving, ensuring that operations continued smoothly. Her ability to handle pressure and maintain composure further strengthened the confidence the staff and billionaire had in her. The billionaire, observing the progress, began to see Lena as more than a temporary manager. Her vision, work ethic, and leadership had fundamentally changed the property. He often remarked on her ability to combine practical intelligence with empathy and integrity, a combination that was rare and valuable. He encouraged her to continue making decisions independently, recognizing that her approach was shaping the hotel's identity and success. One afternoon, Lena gathered the staff for a special meeting. She praised their efforts, highlighted improvements, and set goals for the next phase of operations. She emphasized teamwork, attention to detail, and a commitment to excellence. The employees, motivated by her words and example, responded with renewed dedication and energy. Lena knew that the strength of the team was essential to the hotel's continued success. In addition to internal improvements, Lena focused on marketing and public relations. She developed strategies to promote the hotel's unique features and newly renovated spaces, using social media, partnerships with local businesses, and targeted promotions to attract new guests. Her creative yet practical approach brought in steady interest, increasing bookings and establishing a stronger presence in the local hospitality market. As the hotel approached full operational capacity, Lena began thinking about long-term sustainability. She created systems for ongoing training, quality control, and maintenance, ensuring that improvements would be maintained even after she stepped back from daily oversight. She also worked on developing a positive company culture, emphasizing respect, accountability, and pride in work, knowing that these values would support continued success. Throughout this period, Lena reflected on her journey. From helping a disoriented billionaire one night to now leading a major hotel transformation, she understood how small acts of integrity and attentiveness could lead to extraordinary opportunities. She felt gratitude for the chance to demonstrate her abilities, and she approached each day with a combination of humility and confidence. Her personal growth was evident. Lena had developed leadership skills, strategic thinking, and the ability to inspire others, all while maintaining her grounded, approachable personality. She had learned to navigate complex challenges, make informed decisions, and motivate a team, all while keeping the guest experience at the forefront of her priorities. One evening, as the hotel was quiet and most guests had returned to their rooms, Lena walked through the lobby and observed the scene. Staff were engaged and attentive. The rooms were clean and inviting, and the ambiance was warm and welcoming. She felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment, realizing that her efforts had created a tangible, positive impact. The billionaire joined her quietly, standing beside her as they watched the staff interact with guests. "Lena," he said softly, "the transformation here is remarkable. This hotel feels alive, welcoming, and efficient. I couldn't have imagined it could look like this in such a short time. Your vision, dedication, and leadership have made all the difference." Lena smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and humility. "I'm grateful for the opportunity," she replied. "I've learned so much, and I'm glad I could help make this place better for everyone, staff and guests alike." The billionaire nodded, clearly thoughtful. "You've proven that integrity, attention to detail, and dedication can lead to incredible results. I'm confident that with you at the helm, this hotel can reach even greater heights." As Lena left the hotel that night, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. She had started with a simple act of kindness, guiding someone safely home, and it had led to an opportunity that changed her life. She understood that success was built on small actions, consistent effort, and a willingness to step up when opportunities arose. Lena felt ready for the future, confident in her abilities and inspired by the potential of what lay ahead. Months passed, and the hotel continued to grow and thrive under Lena's leadership. Each day brought new challenges, but also opportunities to learn and make meaningful improvements. Lena had developed a rhythm, balancing operational management, staff training, guest experience, and strategic planning. Her confidence grew as she realized the full extent of her capability, and the hotel flourished as a direct result. The staff had become a cohesive, motivated team. They respected Lena not only for her authority, but also for her fairness, empathy, and willingness to listen. She celebrated their successes, provided guidance when needed, and encouraged a culture of accountability and pride in their work. Guests noticed the difference, complimenting the attentive service, warm environment, and meticulous attention to detail. The hotel's reputation began to spread, attracting more visitors and positive reviews. Lena also took initiative in further improving the property's financial health. She analyzed expenses and revenue streams carefully, identifying opportunities for increased efficiency and profitability. She negotiated with vendors to obtain better deals, streamlined inventory management, and implemented cost-saving measures that did not compromise quality. The billionaire was impressed with her understanding of both operational and financial aspects, seeing her as more than just a manager, but a potential partner in business. One morning, Lena received a message asking her to meet the billionaire in his office. She entered the room, curious about what he wanted to discuss. He gestured for her to sit and spoke with a calm yet deliberate tone. "Lena, I've been observing your work closely. Your dedication, insight, and leadership have transformed this hotel in ways I could not have imagined. You've proven your ability to manage not just operations but people and finances, all while maintaining integrity and vision." Lena listened attentively, feeling a mix of anticipation and humility. "Thank you," she said quietly. "I'm just doing my best and trying to make a positive impact." He smiled, then continued. "I believe you are capable of more than managing this hotel. I want to offer you something significant. I'd like to transfer ownership of the property to you, trusting that you will continue to lead it with the same dedication and vision you have shown." Lena felt a moment of disbelief. Ownership? She had never imagined that her journey from a late-night cafe waitress could lead to this. She took a deep breath, absorbing the weight and responsibility of the offer. I don't know what to say," she admitted, emotion welling up. "This is more than I ever imagined." The billionaire's gaze was steady and encouraging. "You've earned it through your work, integrity, and vision. This property is now in your hands because I trust you to take it further. I've seen what you are capable of, and I believe this is the right decision for both the hotel and you." Lena's mind raced as she considered the possibilities and challenges. She knew the responsibility was immense, but she also recognized the rare opportunity before her. "I accept," she said finally, her voice steady with determination. "I will do my best to honor this trust and continue building this hotel into a place of excellence." The billionaire nodded approvingly. "I have no doubt you will. This is just the beginning, Lena. The hotel's future is bright, and now you have the authority to shape it as you see fit." With ownership officially transferred, Lena began the next chapter of her journey. She continued to refine operations, strengthen staff performance, and enhance guest experiences. She implemented long-term plans for growth, including marketing strategies, renovation projects, and partnerships with local businesses. Her vision for the hotel became increasingly ambitious, fueled by the confidence she had gained through her experiences. The staff remained supportive, inspired by Lena's dedication and leadership. They felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that their work contributed to a thriving business under a leader who valued their efforts. Guests noticed the improvements and praised the consistent quality of service and welcoming atmosphere. The hotel had transformed from a neglected property into a respected establishment known for its exceptional management and hospitality. Lena also took time to mentor her team, sharing lessons learned about leadership, problem-solving, and initiative. She emphasized the importance of integrity, attention to detail, and proactive thinking. Her guidance empowered staff to take ownership of their roles, creating a culture of responsibility and pride. As the hotel's reputation grew, Lena reflected on her journey. She remembered the night she had helped the drunk billionaire get home, an act she had performed without expectation of reward. That single moment had opened a door that led to a remarkable transformation in her life. She realized that courage, empathy, and diligence could create opportunities beyond imagination. With ownership secured, Lena began planning for the hotel's long-term sustainability and growth. She established systems to ensure quality standards were maintained, financial management remained sound, and staff development continued. She also explored ways to expand the business, including hosting events, offering unique guest experiences, and engaging with the community. Through it all, Lena remained grounded, remembering the lessons of hard work, empathy, and perseverance that had brought her here. She approached each day with the same attention to detail and care that had distinguished her from the beginning, understanding that success was built on consistent effort, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. The hotel flourished under her guidance, becoming a model of efficiency, hospitality, and thoughtful management. Lena's story spread, inspiring others to recognize the power of small acts of kindness, the value of diligence, and the importance of taking opportunities seriously when they arise. Reflecting on her journey, Lena realized that her path from waitress to hotel owner had been shaped not only by chance but by her choices, integrity, and willingness to act. The hotel was no longer just a business, it was a reflection of her vision, values, and leadership. She had turned an unexpected opportunity into a life-changing achievement, demonstrating that determination, empathy, and skill could create extraordinary results from humble beginnings. With ownership now in her hands, Lena faced a new chapter of her journey, one filled with both excitement and responsibility. The weight of managing an entire hotel was immense, but she approached it with the same determination, integrity, and attentiveness that had carried her from her nights at the cafe to this moment. She understood that leadership required vision, diligence, and a commitment to nurturing not only the property but also the people who worked there. The first weeks as the official owner were busy and challenging. Lena spent her mornings reviewing operations, checking on renovations, and ensuring that all departments were running smoothly. She took extra time to speak with staff individually, understanding their strengths, concerns, and aspirations. She believed that when the team felt valued and supported, their performance would reflect that, and the hotel would flourish. One of her first priorities was to solidify the systems she had begun implementing while working alongside the billionaire. She organized the workflow, established clear expectations for each department, and set up regular meetings to track progress. She also introduced a mentorship system within the staff, pairing experienced employees with newer ones to foster collaboration and growth. This approach not only increased efficiency, but also strengthened the sense of community and loyalty among the team. Lena also focused on enhancing the guest experience. She introduced personalized touches that made the hotel stand out, welcome notes, carefully curated room amenities, and local recommendations tailored to each visitor's preferences. She made sure the staff understood the importance of small gestures, how a smile, attentive service, and proactive problem-solving could turn a simple stay into a memorable experience. Gradually, the hotel's reputation began to rise, drawing in more visitors and positive reviews. Financial management was another area where Lena took careful steps. She analyzed expenses, reviewed pricing strategies, and ensured that the hotel was profitable while maintaining high-quality service. Her practical approach allowed her to make informed decisions without unnecessary risk, and she began planning for future investments and improvements. This strategic thinking gave her confidence that the hotel could not only sustain itself, but also grow in value and reputation. Despite her busy schedule, Lena never lost sight of the human aspect of her work. She remembered the night she had helped the billionaire and the importance of empathy, patience, and understanding in every interaction. She listened to staff concerns, offered guidance when needed, and celebrated achievements. Her leadership style was firm yet compassionate, fostering an environment where people felt empowered to contribute their best. One afternoon, while walking through the renovated lobby, Lena observed a group of guests complimenting the staff on their attentiveness and professionalism. She felt a deep sense of satisfaction knowing that her guidance had created this positive environment. The staff, too, had grown in confidence and skill, taking pride in the hotel's success and in the work they were doing each day. As the months progressed, Lena continued to expand her vision for the hotel. She explored new services such as hosting events, offering local experiences, and collaborating with nearby businesses to enhance the guest experience. Each idea was carefully evaluated for practicality, feasibility, and impact. Lena approached these opportunities thoughtfully, balancing ambition with the reality of operational limitations, ensuring that growth was sustainable. Her role also involved making difficult decisions, including budgeting, prioritizing renovations, and addressing staff challenges. Lena handled each situation with careful consideration, always weighing the long-term consequences and aiming to maintain fairness and integrity. Her ability to make informed, balanced decisions earned her further respect from both staff and guests. The hotel continued to flourish under Lena's leadership. Occupancy rates increased, reviews praised the exceptional service, and the property became known for its welcoming atmosphere and attention to detail. Lena's reputation as a capable and empathetic leader grew beyond the hotel itself, inspiring others in the community and in the hospitality industry. Despite her achievements, Lena remained humble. She knew that her journey had been shaped by both opportunity and effort. A single act of kindness had led to an unexpected chain of events, but it was her dedication, intelligence, and compassion that allowed her to seize the opportunity and create meaningful change. She often reflected on this journey, recognizing the power of small actions and the importance of maintaining integrity and perseverance. Beyond the operational and financial success, Lena found personal fulfillment in knowing that her work positively impacted the lives of those around her. Staff members were thriving, guests were enjoying memorable stays, and the hotel had become a vibrant, welcoming space in the community. This sense of purpose, combined with the challenge and responsibility of ownership, gave Lena a deep sense of satisfaction and motivation. As the hotel stabilized and continued to grow, Lena began thinking about long-term goals. She considered expanding the brand, opening new locations, and mentoring others who aspired to follow similar paths. She wanted to share the lessons she had learned, that integrity, Diligence, empathy, and attentiveness could create life-changing opportunities, even from humble beginnings. One evening, as Lena walked through the bustling lobby, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. She thought about the night she had helped the drunk billionaire, the weeks spent transforming the hotel, the challenges overcome, and the growth she had experienced personally and professionally. She realized that every step, every choice, and every act of care had contributed to this remarkable transformation. The hotel, once a neglected property, now stood as a testament to Lena's vision, hard work, and leadership. Guests were happy, staff were motivated, and the property had become a respected establishment. Lena understood that success was not just measured in profits or accolades, but in the impact made on people's lives and the quality of experiences created. With ownership secured and the hotel thriving, Lena felt a profound sense of accomplishment and possibility. She knew that the future held challenges, but she also understood that her skills, values, and experiences had prepared her to face them with confidence. The journey from a late-night cafe waitress to a hotel owner had been unexpected and extraordinary, but it had revealed her potential in ways she had never imagined. In the quiet moments, Lena often thought about the importance of kindness, integrity, and courage in shaping one's path. She realized that life could present opportunities at the most unexpected moments, and it was up to each person to recognize and act on them. Her story had become a testament to the power of taking initiative, staying true to one's values, and working diligently toward goals. As she stood in the lobby, watching staff interact with guests, hearing laughter and conversation, and seeing the smooth operation of the hotel, Lena felt a deep sense of pride. She had turned a chance encounter into a transformative journey, creating a life she had once only dreamed of. The hotel was no longer just a building. It was a symbol of perseverance, vision, and the impact of a single act of kindness that had changed everything.